What is up, guys? Doomwick here, and welcome back to some more Pioneer content on the channel. I know that you guys have been loving the standard Foundations preview videos that we've been doing, and I will say we do have some standard content down the pipeline. The editor is, I believe, working on them as we speak, so be on the lookout for that, and you want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel to get notified when we post those standard videos. But today, we have a little bit of Pioneer because even though Wizards of the Coast and they don't want to necessarily support Pioneer as a competitive format, there are still some regional championships that have taken place, and I believe Canada, as of the recording of this video, has yet to do their RC as well. And I don't know, Pioneer's just in a really dope spot right now. There's a lot of cool cards from Duskmourn that are seeing play in Pioneer, and we have one of those cards today. That is Abhorrent Oculus. Now, when I highlighted the card Neoform, you might normally associate Neoform with stuff like Tassiger and Hooting Mandrills, and you're sacrificing those to go get a Traxa. This is, I guess, as you could call it the FAIR Neoform, as fair as this card could reasonably be. But what we are doing is we're actually using Neoform to sacrifice 2-drops, so Fallaji Archaeologist, Picklock Prankster, and Thundertrap Trainer. We're sacrificing those 2s just to put an Oculus into play, because as it turns out, Oculus just by itself is good enough to win a lot of games, especially if you can back it up with a Thoughtseize. The Fallaji is a lot better than Picklock because Picklock, Free the Fae can find you the Neoform, but if you Picklock to find the Neoform, you're not playing a creature on turn 2. But the ideal scenario is turn 2 Fallaji, find the Neoform, turn 3, Neoform the Oculus, you're good to go. Now, what's also really cool about this deck is that Fallaji and Picklock both mill over cards. So if you happen to mill the Oculus, your Fallaji and your Picklock can then find No One Left Behind, which is a 5-mana reanimation spell that costs 3 mana less if you're targeting an Oculus. So you can then, mill over the Oculus, get the No One Left Behind into your hand with your 2-drops, cast that on the Oculus, and that's another way to put Oculus into play. Now, with all of this graveyard setup, we are playing a couple of Treasure Cruises because it's just 1 mana draw 3 is just too good. We're only playing 3 because it does sort of conflict a little bit when you need to hard cast an Oculus, which you do from time to time because of how much self-mill you have. And then the interaction, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, and then Bitter Triumph as our additional interaction because discarding cards to the graveyard, good with Cruise, good with Oculus, so on and so forth. Mana base, nothing too fancy. We got a bunch of fast lands, couple of breeding pools, 1 Otawara, 1 Undercity Sewers. The downside about playing 3 colors is that you don't have a lot of room for utility lands, but we were able to sneak in 1 Sewers, 1 Otawara, along with our, fast lands, shock lands, all that stuff. And then moving on to the sideboard, Trusty Companion Jegantha, a couple of Duresses for, control and other combo decks, 1 cut down, additional removal spell for the prowess decks, 2 Horse for Phoenix, Abrupt Decay to just be a good catch-all. I mean, it's good against a lot of different decks. Pawpatch Formation, mostly here for demons. Disdainful Stroke and Aether Gust. 2 Glissa, which I like because a lot of times post-board, your opponent's going to board in a lot of graveyard hate, and you want to make sure you can have a threat that sidesteps graveyard hate, on top of the fact that Glissa also can kill the graveyard hate, specifically Rest in Peace and Leyline. So you can also, not only can you play your threat that dodges their graveyard hate, but you can also kill their graveyard hate with it and then just move on with your life. And then a couple of Mystical Disputes rounding out the sideboard. Really, really sweet deck. I think you guys are going to enjoy this video. I had a ton of fun playing this league. And like I said, if you got a Pioneer tournament coming up, might be a good idea to consider looking into this one, because this is a very, very powerful deck, and I think attacking the format from a unique angle. So before we get to round 1, a quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. They got cool stuff, and they have it in stock. Closer to the Deck Yeah t-shirt. Oh yeah. Deck Yeah t-shirt incoming. The cube was fun. I liked the cube yesterday. I'll probably do more of the cube. Does anybody know how long the cube is up for? Because that was a lot of fun yesterday. This is kind of perfect, right? Because next turn I can go Thoughtseize, take their axe, and then go land, no one left behind, get back the Oculus. That works out. No one's going to know it's legal anymore. Well, I think, again, the point still remains, right? I think the point... Oh. I think the point still remains that we should, like, remove the... Like, we should remove the direct-to-modern sets from the equation. But, like, again, the new Universes Beyond products are not necessarily direct to modern, right? They're sort of like direct to standard. So I think it's a little bit different, you know? I think I should Neoform first, given that they have the Fiery Impulses. They can double impulse this Oculus, but that's also fine. No, talking about the Vintage Cube Ketchup. That's the one we played yesterday. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's personally from my perspective, I think it would be fine to have the new Universes Beyond product legal in pure modern, but I'm also, you know, open to suggestions. Oh no. Oh, opponent, no. Okay. Well, you know, there's that as well. So, anyways, Hearse me. I don't know if I want to bring in any of the counter spells. No, definitely not these. Maybe Disputes. Hearse good. Cut down, no. Fatal Push is not very good against Phoenix anymore because they cut all their shredders. They're just playing talents now. Bring in these. Duress, Decay. This one's probably kind of mid. I want to bring in Decay. I just want to have more answers to artist talent. I'll play one of these, I guess. Jegantha. Yeah, so I don't know who created that, but props to them. That website looks good. And, you know, that's like the perfect time to create a format like that, you know? In terms of, like, if you're trying to create a snapshot, for like the essentials of modern, that's probably the perfect what people perceive to be the perfect modern format, you know? I feel like I'd rather just play pre-modern at that point. I mean, that's just different, right? But I agree. Maybe pre-modern's better, but it is just definitely a different thing. It's like pre-modern for modern players. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to put it. They took Dispute? Okay, definitely casting this now. Kind of wish I had a creature, but, you know. I do have an Oculus in my hand, so it wasn't that likely. They did mill over 2 artist talent, which is kind of cool. So that we don't have to worry about. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just going to do this. Hold up, consider, and Picklock. I don't want to main phase the trainer, because that'll probably just eat the Dispute. I mean, this is probably going to eat the Dispute anyways, but we'll see. Okay. Wow. Very surprised they didn't dispute that. I mean, I'm going to take the cruise. So I guess we should consider first looking for a land. That's perfect. Okay, let's hearse this turn, and then next turn we can go Thoughtseize plus no one left behind. They are just going to dispute this, but that's fine, I think. It's a better use of mana. I guess the other thing that I could have done was Thoughtseize plus Cruise that turn, and then the next turn I could have gone no one left behind. Yeah, maybe that was better, right? It's close. Because now I'm not hitting my land drop, right? Yeah, so we go Thoughtseize here. But they might also have 2 counterspells. Do you think they have Negate and Spell Pierce? I mean, I think I need to bait the Spell Pierce with the Cruise. Because I think I'd much rather resolve the... I think I'd much rather resolve this, so I want to bait the Pierce here. Okay, well, I'm going to go for it now. I guess they could also just have Lightning Axe? Yeah, Axe makes sense. Maciel Aneto, thank you for the 8-month resub. Thank you for the prime. Don't stop me now. I did mill a Phoenix. I had to consider. Okay, we do have a second No One Left Behind, which is nice. But they get a Phoenix back this turn. 16, so we're kind of low. Interesting. So maybe what I should do this turn is actually Fallaji and Neoform. And the reason I want a Fallaji and Neoform is that Neoform gives me a 6/6 Oculus. It's my plan next turn. Do I want a second Neoform? Not really. I think I want the Cruise. And then we can go blue-green, sack this. It's worse if they have a counterspell. Okay, we're going to try and opt for a Pierce. They did put a card on top, but they didn't pierce me, so that's good. Do we have 2 Oculus in the graveyard? No, we have 1. But if we can get them to kill this Oculus this turn, then next turn we can actually just go double No One Left Behind, which is kind of nice. What's up, Card Bros? They have 1 card left in hand. I mean, we kind of just have to go for double No One Left Behind, right? Yeah, I'm also not going to cruise because I don't want to shock. Should probably attack first. They only have 1 card, so this is definitely doable. No One Left Behind. Okay. So we at least get 1 of these. We have to hope they brick. Please do not draw Treasure Cruise. I beg of you. And before waiting for... Yeah? Okay. Okay, never mind. I was going to say. Waiting to pay costs, immediately draw Cruise. I mean, I'm blocking. So we're at 4. Okay, 4 is kind of sus. Do I have enough cards in my graveyard to Cruise and Oculus? I think I do, right? 15. I need 7, and 6 is 13. Yeah, I have enough cards. Is Overgrown Tomb not just super bad at the mana? I mean, it's not great, but like because you're playing with Neoform and Thoughtseize, you kind of need to play it. It is certainly awkward, but I think it is a requirement. All right, let's cruise first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does Pawpatch do anything for us? We can Pawpatch a Phoenix on their turn. I guess I have to be a little bit careful about decking too, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's maybe better to just play this. Can I attack with 1 Oculus? Then I would have 2 blockers. Attack is a little sus if they draw Lightning Axe, because they can axe the Oculus, then I have to chump here, take 2, go to 2. But I also need to kill them at some point, right? Maybe we just wait one more turn to attack. What about Llanowar Waste if you're rarely needing the black or green? Well, Llanowar Waste is worse when you're trying to cast turn 1 Thoughtseize, right? It's like, sure, it's probably better on turn 2, like when you're not trying to cast Thoughtseize early. Alright, Jegantha. This hand is pretty sick if we can entomb. Consider entomb. If I draw Oculus, should I Thoughtseize myself? The answer is probably no, but Overgrown Tomb. I think it's higher upside to just go consider first, because we could just spike the thing, right? That'd be insane. Yeah, I know. The upkeep stop. Some people have a reason for the upkeep stop. I personally don't, but some people do. Okay, that's a brick. No, we're supposed to draw it. Although, I could actually just go double consider this turn, and then next turn go untap land, Thoughtseize myself, then play No One Left Behind. Depends on what they do, of course. I'm mostly okay with that. I don't really want that. I mean, it does, like, cast some of my green cards, but that one I think I do want. Are we really doing that? Thoughtseize myself? I don't think so. I think what I want to do is just Thoughtseize. This is tough. I guess I could have also just graveyarded the Cruise and then had 6 in the grave to hardcast the Oculus this turn. Maybe that was better. Yeah. I could just go Thoughtseize Fallaji. Maybe that's better. Bloodletter, Thoughtseize, Ritual Chamber. God, dude. I mean, I have 2 Fatal Pushes, but I can't really kill this with Fatal Push, so I think I have to take that. Although it feels bad, because now they could just go Thoughtseize, play second Annex. And that's not ideal. Yeah, I think it has to be the Demon. Maybe this deck needs to play, like, Fabled Passage for Fatal Push. What's nice about this, I was going to say, if they take the Oculus, then we can just, you know, get it back with No One Left Behind, so they kind of have to take the Cruise there. They do lose 4 life here, which is nice. Yeah, I think we just got to jam Oculus. Don't really have a choice. But then they can go Animate Mutavault. Animate Mutavault, hit us for 4. We go to 10, they go to 16. It's going to be close. Cut the green for red, play Fable, maybe FOMO. So the problem with cutting the green is you lose Neoform. And I think Neoform is probably the best part of this deck. More so than the No One Left Behinds. Because it also makes the Oculus a 6/6, which is way better against Phoenix. So maybe at that point you could be like Temur or something. Main deck Pawpatch Formation. That's a statement. That is certainly a statement. Yeah, we gotta top that to try and find a Neoform or a No One Left Behind. Although, again, we're so low on life, I don't think this is gonna be good enough. It's good, but we're just effectively at 4 life this turn, you know? We're also just dead if they have a second Bloodletter now. That's good. I mean, that's obviously good. But I feel like we're probably not going to be... our life total is just under too much duress here. It is nice that we get to go flip second Oculus and hold up double push. Well, then we only have 1 push. Okay. So we go to 4. 5, 10... I'm 1 point short of lethal. I have 13 damage in play. Yeah, we're just dead, right? Can kill the land. Yeah, but they can just do this. I guess we can hope they mess up and, like, don't put a demon into play. And we can end of turn push the Mutavault if they don't activate the Annex for some reason. Yes, but they can also just... What I'm saying is they can pay 5 mana and then also have the Mutavault. Like, they have 2 demons and they have access to 2 demons right now. Can't you cast push to pump your trainer? How does push pump the trainer? I'm confused. Can you cast push to pump your trainer? How would that work? Oh, no. This doesn't have prowess. Okay, also did that. Also did to that. Glissa's kind of nice against them because they have Annex. Definitely want Pawpatch because Pawpatch kills Annex and the demons. Cut down Duress. I really don't think Fatal Push is that good against them. Kind of similar aspect of last matchup. Just do something like this probably. No pushes. The Duresses are interesting, but kind of don't want that much discard against them. I guess if they're going to go heavy on graveyard hate, I could trim 1 cruise. Try that maybe. Because I don't know what kind of graveyard hate they have, but if they have Leyline of the Void, then keeping in all the cruises could get kind of awkward. Have you seen the Foundation's ad that's a cat meowing like the I Like Chicken Liver song? No, but I need you to send me a link to it right now. Because I need to see that for myself. I don't know if there's a Meow Mix card, but... Hey, what's up, Sulking? I'm going to let that happen, because they're just going to take Prankster. Alright, I will simply draw... You ready for this? This is going to be a 360 no-scope. Graveyard, draw No One Left Behind. Okay, well, not exactly. Not exactly the way that I wanted that to happen, but, you know. Bustin'. Come on, please. Can I have that Prankster back? I could really use a Picklock Prankster right about now. $40 card, by the way. Can you believe that? This card is $40 and it's completely uncastable. Explain that to me. Well, that's fucked up. I'm not having a good time. Alright, Prankster me. Prankster. Your turn. It's too many eyeballs. Yeah, too many balls. Unholy Annex. All right, give me a Prankster. Okay. Unironically, that kind of is one of the better draws in my deck. Because then I could just like draw a 2-drop and then pop off. Although I only have one Oculus left in my deck. So after this Neoform, every other Neoform is dead, which is pretty funny. -4. All right, give me a 2-drop. 2-drop. All right, I'm deceased. I have become deceased. Oh, you didn't say to Neoform into, just to have in the deck. The answer to your question is no. I will answer that question with a definitive no. This hand is very painful, but it is quite good. What you got over there, Lucio? Show me your secrets, Lucio. Bloodletter, Fable, Annex, Annex. Huh. I think it's this. It's kind of weird, but I think it's that. Wait, okay, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I clicked on the consider. There's like a bit of a pause there, though. Alright, we get to do the thing. We do get to do the thing. I think I'm just gonna Fatal Push their token now. They're at 19. Play this. Oculus. The Oculusy. The reason I wanted the Fatal Push main phase was that if I don't Fatal Push, that's a nice hit, by the way. If I don't Fatal Push, then they can go attack. If they draw Fatal Push off the Fable, they can go attack, make a treasure, sack treasure, push here. But by pushing the token, they don't have any way to get Revolt, and now they're just fucking cooked. If they let me flip the second Oculus, the game's basically over. I think it is. The reason I think that, Cathal, is because it is much more capable of... what was I going to say? Much more capable of just playing a normal game. I mean, sure, like, it is still weak to graveyard hate in the sense of you can't hardcast Oculus, but I think that letting you... Neoform being able to sacrifice Thundertrap Trainer to go get Oculus does play through graveyard hate. So I think that aspect of the deck is pretty huge. Where it's like, if your opponent Leylines or Rest in Pieces you, then you still have plenty of play through that. And I think that's why I like the deck so much. We have 2 Annexes in hand. Good luck with that. Cannot run Stub, though. I mean, you probably could, right? Because, like, this does turn on Stub. You maybe could. How am I did the Bloodletter? I have 2 blockers. I could, if they had Bloodletter, I could just chump block the thing with one of my manifests, right? Okay, so they're playing Rakdos Demons. Pawpatch coming in. I mean, you know, this is kind of a very weird thing, but we've played against 3 decks where Fatal Push is just not very good. Because this deck, if you look, this deck cannot enable Revolt, essentially at all, right? So, and there is a lot of 3s and 4s, so maybe this deck just shouldn't even be playing Fatal Push, as weird as that is, you know? Or maybe it's more of a sideboard card. I think this is what I did the last time. Let's try that. But yeah, maybe the Fatal Pushes just aren't that good. Or if there's like an easier way to get Revolt, that could be kind of cool. But, like, I mean, Fable Passage kind of makes sense, right? Fable Passage fuels Treasure Cruise, and it fuels Hardcast Oculus, so maybe this deck should play Fable Passage. I mean, I absolutely hate that card with a passion, because it just doesn't cast your 1 or your 2 mana cards, at, like, ever, but it might be fine as, like, 2 or 3 of. It might be better than I'm giving it credit for. That is true, yeah. Like, Passage is really awkward when you're trying to curve out, right? Like, you're casting Consider or Thoughtseize on 1, you're casting one of your various 2-drops on turn 2, so it is a little bit awkward in the sense that, like, if you draw it in the first couple of turns, it is very awkward. But in terms of on turn 4, enabling Fatal Push, that's what it's good at, right? Because you don't usually need Fatal Push enabled till turn 4 anyways, right? That is a very interesting card. I think I keep that, right? Because I do have the Prankster. I'm not going to cast Prankster next turn. Yeah, I think I keep that. Let me just go Marsh, hold up, free the Fae. Turn 3, we probably Bitter Triumph their thing, and then turn 4, we can set up Prankster into Neoform, all on the same turn, so they can't, like, kill this, push this. Yeah, Prankster being able to find Neoform and giving you the body to sack to it, that is kind of cool. That is a really neat aspect of this deck list. Was there any consideration for the 1-mana Dorks in Eldritch Evolution? So the problem with the 1-mana Dork Sulking Assassin is they don't enable your graveyard stuff like Picklock and Fallaji do. So they're much worse when it comes to cards like that. Okay. Don't have a choice. Yeah, you would lose Jegantha too. Although, Jegantha has not been relevant a single time so far. That is a very interesting top deck. Alright, I'm casting that. I mean, there is, like, potential downside if they just have a kill spell for this. It could get awkward, but if they don't have a kill spell for this card's gonna clock them. Because then we could just go Neoform, Picklock next turn. We do take 3, but we can hopefully kill their NX. Is Champion of Wits too slow for this deck? Yes, I think it is. It is something good to get back with No One Left Behind, but 3 mana is kind of a lot. Honestly, Helldozer, I think if I wanted to play that type of effect, I would rather play the flying one, the, what's it called? Steamcore Scholar, I think. Okay, they did have the Heartless Sack, which kind of sucks. I'm at 10. I guess it's maybe just better to cast this, because then we don't have the shock. And then next turn we can go Picklock Neoform. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a little awkward though, because they can fatal push. They can fatal push the 2/2, so I can't double block the blade. No One Left Behind Glissa. So what, did you want to go No One Left Behind Glissa, shock, hold up, Bitter Triumph? Maybe that was better. Or I could go No One Left Behind, play the Picklock Prankster, maybe. Because then I have a double block on Blade, and I would have first strike with the Glissa. Maybe that was better. Is Delver of Secrets too good for this deck? Yes. Delver of Secrets reveal Neoform. Neoform, sacrifice my Insectile Aberration, go get Fallaji Archaeologist. Now we're cooking with gas. You are, in fact, speaking my language. Challenge starts in 2 hours. This thing having Menace is such a pain in the ass. I think it would be pretty bad without black. It's not good. I'm at 3. Okay, I guess I messed up. I was supposed to upkeep the Bitter Triumph, right? Yeah, I should stay at 5. I just didn't have the upkeep stop. What am I discarding here? Second, No One Left Behind? I have to get really lucky here, right? Can I even attack? If I attack, I have 2 blockers. No, if I attack, I'm dead on board. They're also still at 26. I could have attacked if I upkeep the Bitter Triumph. Right? If I had upkeep the Bitter Triumph, then I could have attacked. Even if they have 1 kill spell, I can still block. No, I guess I would still be dead, right? Because I block the Mutavault, take 3, go to 2, still die to this. Dead to Menace. No, because I can double block, single block. I mean, if that's all they're doing, they don't have a kill spell. This is winnable. Yeah, I guess that is a good Fatal Push target, right? The Demon token. Maybe the fact that they have Blade makes me want to keep the couple of pushes in, because it is good against Blade. Yeah, for game 3, I'll maybe board back in a couple of pushes. All right, 1 is not 0. I mean, it's pretty damn close to 0, but I don't think I have any outs, but I'm gonna do this. We could hit Pawpatch Formation to kill the Annex. Nope. All right, Didge. Game tree. Okay, let's bring in like 2 Fatal Pushes. And let's cut the trainers, maybe. Because we're boarding in the Glissas, we kind of have enough extra threats. And we still have 8 2-drops to pair with the Neoforms, which I think is good enough. Kaido is such a busted card. No, we can't keep this. This hand's also not very good, but I think it's good enough. Put back the Oculus. Well, I guess this hand does put a lot of cards in the graveyard, right? No, we played against Phoenix round 1. It was Phoenix, Demons, Demons. I'm actually going to put back the push. After Pioneer Horizons, do you think you'll migrate to Arena mostly or stay on MTGO? For Pioneer, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I prefer playing on Arena, to be honest with you. That's good, right? Because I can Triumph, discard Oculus. What is Pioneer Horizons? So it's an Arena only product that where they're not going to be introducing any new cards, but they're just going to be introducing a bunch of reprints to Arena that haven't been that aren't Pioneer, that basically aren't on Arena. So it's like it's basically their attempt at putting as many of the Pioneer card pool onto Arena that isn't already on the client. That's like what they're trying to do. Oh, sure. Masters, yeah. It's not called Horizon, it's Pioneer Masters. Yeah, personally, I do prefer playing on Arena. I don't know. There's some people who find that the MTGO client is much easier to watch, but I don't know. This just feels like, I don't know. It's kind of old, you know. Feels like we're watching. This feels like watching a color TV, and then you go to your friend's house and they have this brand new like Google Smart TV, and you're like sitting at your home watching your color TV. Like that's what it feels like to me. Do I want this? I don't not want it. Let's graveyard it. Okay, let's do this. Actually, hold on a second. I'm considering just killing their Shaman token now because of Fatal Push. Is that bad? So if I... it's pretty bad if they have an Archfiend, though, right? Because if I kill the Shaman token now, they just go land Archfiend, and then I can't attack with my 5/5. Yeah, I think that's bad. I'm just going to pass. Sure, we do lose one Oculus to Fatal Push, but we have a second Oculus, so it's like not the end of the world. As far as YouTube goes, I think that viewer base is also way larger for Arena, more people familiar with it. Yeah, I mean, in terms of my channel specifically, because of how much MTGO content I've produced over the past couple of years, I think that my channel specifically is maybe more used to MTGO, but when it comes to branching out, I think that, you know, down the road, more people will probably become interested in Arena, right? Right, exactly. For potential viewership, for sure. Like that, the market is definitely much more open for Arena viewers. I agree with that for sure. So, like, when it comes to me and, like, in my YouTube channel specifically, if I'm trying to grow the channel, I think it makes a lot more sense to, like, try and, you know, get more Arena content into the mix. Especially with the push towards Standard, right? Because the most accessible format on Arena by far is Standard. So if more people are trying to get into Standard, their on-ramp might be Arena. I mean, I hope they don't have Extinction Event. Extinction Event would suck. I mean, I don't know. I guess even if they have Extinction Event, we still have 3 2/2s in place, so maybe it's not that bad. I maybe should have taken the Oculus over the Glissa. That's close. I just saw Glissa and assumed that it was Glissa, but perhaps the Oculus was better. It probably was better, right? The event leaves them dead. I guess that is true, right? Does this also leave them dead? Unless they find push, right? Okay, well. That certainly leaves them dead. Biggest complaint with Arena was I didn't know how to assign blockers, but that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe that's why they made the blocker change. The same doesn't have green mana. Let me keep it still. Yeah, Dekia is kind of legendary, right? Okay, we are looking for mana that is green. That is not mana that is green. I don't know, though. Dekia is kind of legendary. It's maybe not fair to compare the two, you know? We're going to see deck. Yeah, there should be a command for it. I'm pretty sure I added the video as the Dekia command. Can that be the new 5-back song? What, the meow? No. I don't want it to be. Plot slick shot, huh? Free the Fae. Push Cruise Prankster. Yeah, I guess we just take push. And then we can go push plus bitter this turn. And then next turn, Prankster Neoform. It's a pretty good turn, right? Yeah, apparently I didn't know this, but apparently they actually have the Deck Yeah ad on they have the Deck Yeah ad running on Twitch ads. I didn't know that until somebody said it the other day. Prankster push this turn? I think just double removal is way better. Next turn, Neo plus Triumph. Yeah, but what happens if they just kill the Prankster, right? Isn't that worse? Because, like, the Prankster is not likely to be able to block anything this turn anyways. That was kind of my theory. I think I don't need this extra land in my hand, especially the shock land. Less about blocking and more about not tapping out. Oh, you're saying tapping out this turn? Yeah, I guess. I kind of understand what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but this also seems much more mana efficient, right? I don't know. It's close. It is close. I worry that if they have main deck Fatal Push and they decide to push the Prankster that turn, it's so much worse. I don't know if they have main deck Push, but it's pretty good, Ria. I've been a big fan of it so far. Seems like it has like the perfect mix of like good interaction. It also, unlike Neoform decks in the past, it has a good way to beat Graveyard Hate, which is just cast a 2-drop and then cast Neoform, which that stuff doesn't care about them having Graveyard Hate. So it seems like it's sort of fixed all of the problems that Neoform decks had in the past, and it seems also much more consistent. Yeah, this was Xenowan's list from one of the challenges this weekend. I made one change. I added a third cruise over the main deck Spell Pierce, but everything else was the same. Really? I mean, they don't know that I have the second Oculus, so this line looks good for them. I'll take 3 because the Manifest can trade for the Kumano next turn. I guess I'm getting another Manifest, so maybe that's bad. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're 19? Now we'll just leave it back. I want to have both manifest so I can either double block this or put one on each. Okay, well, I'm not blocking with that manifest now. It's a good thing I didn't attack, right? I think I will not be blocking with that manifest, as a matter of fact. Thoughts on Burn now in Pioneer? Probably good. I mean, Burn's going to be a good standard deck. Boros Charm, Helix, Lava Spike, all these cards are standard legal, which is kind of wild to me. Alright, this one's over. This one is over. Tenya. Every time you hit an Oculus off of an Oculus, God, it feels so good. Yeah, that's true. Swift Spear and Slick Shot, too. Alright, so Cut Down coming in, Decay coming in. This is probably an okay Glissa matchup. Pawpatch is interesting because it kills Slick Shot, but doesn't kill much else besides Slick Shot. Should we cut the Thoughtseizes? Yeah, Swiss Spear rotates next year, but we still have an entire year of it, which is pretty good. What do you cut against them? Kills the Saga. Do I care that much? I don't know that I care that much about the Saga. Should I cut all the Thoughtseizes and then play 2 Duress? Because I don't really want, like... Aether Gust in theory is good, but you're going to be trading down on mana most of the time. Like, you're going to be casting this on a 1-drop, but like 99% of the time. It's okay. It's better against Slick Shot, but... Yeah, I think Gust is way better against decks that are trying to cast more expensive cards, but like Aether Gusting a Monastery Swiftspear is not a very good play. Like you're just trading down on mana. It's okay versus Mouse, yeah. They also could board Hazoret. They could also board they could board Orabrask's Forge. Alright, I'll try the Gust. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'll try it. Is this hand good? It doesn't look very good. I think it's bad. This is better, I think. Not much better, but it is better. Aim up to 5. You can choose to not take a card, right? Yeah. Which I might do, depending. Monastery Swiftspear. Yeah, this hand's not bad. Is there any value to pivot to Esper and play Recommissioner Helping Hand? Well, the problem with that, Toaster, is you would lose Neoform. So you could maybe build this deck in a different way, but I think the whole reason that's bad for me, the whole reason to play Neoform is Neoform makes you much better against Graveyard Hate. For example, right, my opponent now has Unlicensed Duress in play. I can never cast this Oculus, but if I hit a Neoform off of Fallaji, I can still put an Oculus into play. So if you cut the Neoforms, you just kind of expose yourself way too much to the Graveyard Hate. See? Bant then? Yeah, but like you lose the black interaction, right? Was Jim Davis's name ever cleared? Not that I'm aware of. We need to wait for the Deserto article. Once we have the Dexerto article, then we can know for sure if Jim Davis's name was truly cleared. Am I shocking to hold up push here? I think it's worth it. Do I want to push main phase to play around their push? Kind of. Well, no, because I think I'd rather kill the hearse. That's close, though. There's a good chance they did board and push. But I think I'd much rather try to kill the hearse here. This is the classic those who know, those who don't know. Those who know, those who don't. Chat, it's a joke, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a bad joke, but it's a joke. It's some, like, stupid propaganda that the Magic Twitch chat made up for no reason. But it's a joke, okay? He didn't actually get disqualified. Please don't go into his chat and be like, Jim, were you disqualified at Worlds? It's a bad joke, alright? It's a bad joke. Yeah, maybe I should play this deck in the challenge instead of the Demons deck. I'm thinking about it. I missed? Bullshit. It caught on. I don't know if Jim is very happy with the joke, though. I don't think he finds it funny. We have a crewer. Crew incoming. I would like to declare a block. Okay. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm just not going to cast the Fatal Push. Because it turns on their Fatal Push, right? I guess I could have also just killed them, right? I didn't think about not blocking. Or blocking with the 1/4. Whatever, it's fine. I don't even know how we could possibly lose this game. Green, blue. I deploy another eye. I deploy the second eye. That is fine, I accept. The brown eye? No, the other one. Alright, cool. Yorion, the Sky Nomad. This hand kind of sucks. I mean, it's not really that much better, but it does have double Thoughtseize against Yorion, so I guess it's fine. Okay, they're doing some Analyst Nissa bullshit, Lumra. Alright, show me what you got over there, Brummett. What you working with? I'll take the Spelunking card. Distinction, welcome to the stream. I seem to have forgotten my Atraxis when registering my Neoform deck. Skillfully elected to not register Atrax on this deck. It's a bit controversial, but... Alright, what'd you draw? You drew a Get Lost. Okay, I'm going to let them have the Kenny for a little bit. That is an island. I don't want that. So you have 3 cards in the graveyard. They have a Kenrith and not much else going on. I mean, that's the hope, Donber. Okay, that was their draw step, and we picked up an answer to Kenny, which is nice. Still only 3 cards in the graveyard, so we can't quite cruise. We want to find a 2-mana creature. Okay, well, that was their draw step again, so we still know their whole hand. Plus bird. Perfect. So now we go here, cast this. Probably better to take that one. And then green, blue, Neoform, sack this. Get one of these. And then, so the other hand right now is Mountain, Passage, Kenrith, Yorion. We just have to hope they don't draw exactly a removal spell for Oculus. Then we're kind of cooking. They drew Echoing Deeps. So we still know their whole hand, right? Mountain, Passage, Kenrith, Yorion. Attack for 8. Question is, do we deploy the Archaeologist? It's probably fine, right? We can go Archaeologist into Cruise. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take Kenrith, play this, your turn. Well, hello there. That's a nice one to hit. I think it is, Kebby, because you just want a higher density of 2-drops that you can play. You want a higher density of 2-drops that you can play with Neoform, so I think it makes sense. I'm at 12. Sorry, Jeff. Jeff, my sincerest apologies. I'm just going to play it safe and hold up the removal spell. I could flip the other Oculus, but, like, I don't know. I don't know if there's any weird shit they can do next turn. So I kind of want to just hold up the Bitter Triumph, just to make sure that I can't die. And then, worst case scenario, I can just flip the other one end of turn, right? It's not a huge deal. Because I couldn't kill them that turn. I could flip up the Oculus for 3 more damage, putting them to 4, but still not lethal. Nissa. Okay. So we can just kill it in response. Just to make sure they can't draw a card off of it. Then I'm fairly certain they have no outs. I would assume. Could play Genrith, but then they're just dead on board if they cast Genrith. Also dead if they cast Yorion, because I just have this. Sure. Why not? I can have my cake and eat it too. Alright, it's more fun to do this. I don't need to do this, but it is way more fun. Alright, fine. Make sure we get the Fallaji in there. You gotta make sure you attack with the O3. Okay, so they're playing Nissa, Lumra, Analyst, Kenrith, Spelunking. Kind of like that, the lands combo deck. Omnath as well. So presumably, Fatal Push is probably not great against them because, again, we essentially cannot turn on Revolt in any meaningful fashion. So Fatal Push, out of Rakdos, normally good against Nissa, Omnath, stuff like that. It's not really good here. Counter spells are all pretty good. The Duresses are nice. And then I think we can maybe just shave the trainers. Something like that, maybe? Let's go there. Could bring in Glissa, I guess, because Glissa is nice at killing Spelunking. I don't know if they have that many enchantments besides Spelunking for Glissa, though, so it seems maybe not quite worth it. Otterhouse says, I broke Monogreen Devotion with Genesis Wave. Show your work. I somehow don't believe you, but I would assume it's better to Thoughtseize on one instead of Consider. So let's do that. Oh, boy. Well... They did draw a forest. We might be in for a fast one, folks. I mean, they have a Get Lost. So now we need to find a land so we can Thoughtseize the Get Lost and Neoform. Alright. They did draw back-to-back lands. Do we jam the Neoform and just hope they don't find a land? I guess it's fine because we have this. Even if they do draw land, we could just No One Left Behind back the Oculus. They did keep a one-lander and drew back-to-back lands, which is pretty funny. All right. They kept the one-lander and drew 3 lands in a row. They knew. They simply just knew that there was going to be 3 lands on top of their deck. That's pretty funny. Oh, man. If I wasn't still massively far ahead, this would be a little more frustrating, but... Okay, I guess I can't double Black Spell, which is kind of annoying. But we can go... I guess we just go No One Left Behind, hold up Dispute. We're not going to be able to dispute the Kenrith, but we can just Bitter Triumph the Kenrith the next turn. So I think doing it this way is fine. This. So their hand is these 3 plus Yorion. Okay, they did not attack. What is that? No. Cruise is nice. I don't want to tap out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, I could just jam Oculus, but I don't think I really want to tap out. Let's go here. I mean, do any of these cards matter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not really, right? Like, I guess this one matters because I can't dispute that one profitably. But I don't think many of their cards matter. Oculus. God, that feels so good. You know, I'm beginning to think maybe I should just play this deck in the challenge. This deck is kind of correct. What do you think, chat? Should we play this in the challenge instead of the Demons deck? I'm kind of thinking maybe I should. You're sick of Annex. You and me both, kind of. I do kind of want to change up the main deck removal, though, because I'm not a huge fan of Fatal Push in this deck, just because we can't really ever get Revolt online. So I kind of want to play less Fatal Pushes. All right, folks, that is Neoform Oculus. And as you saw in a lot of those videos, I mean, Abhorrent Oculus by itself can and will win a game if left unchecked. And this deck is very good at making sure you can put Oculus into play as early and as often as possible, due to the fact that you have No One Left Behind, Neoform, you just have so many different ways and copies of Oculus or ways to find Oculus that you just always have it. There's really nothing that I didn't like about this deck. I mean, the Thundertrap Trainers were a little awkward because they don't put cards in the graveyard. They don't help fill up the graveyard for Oculus and No One Left Behind. So those are a little awkward. I don't know if there's a better replacement. Let me know in the comments section down below if you guys have any ideas. Could potentially see the fourth cruise, although again, as I mentioned in the intro, there is a bit of tension with Cruise and Oculus. But yeah, I mean, really no notes. This deck felt really clean. Big fan of this deck. Not a lot I would change. And again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider liking, subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.